I have one question. Since some of us here attending this satsang together are lovers of Arunachala,
How nice.
and even Swami Lakshmanjo came at the feet of Ramana for some weeks in the
Yes.
late 30s. So
Yes.
Bettina will agree she's coming every year also there. You yourself visited somebody who is very dear to our heart, Visiri Swami, Yogi Ram Surat Kumar.
Yes.
You had meeting with him, and we used to spend some time with him at that time also. So this is another link.
I know
And
that.
I would like to, if you can elaborate a little bit on that meeting with him.
Once Maharshi was himself asked, when I sit down to meditate, my mind wanders. Hmm? But when I am walking, then the mind is steady. Right? So he said, then walk. Why are you sitting down? So that day he started walking around Arunachala. Now the reason why it's a good act is not because we're just going around in circles around the mountain, but because great rishis and siddhas have meditated there. And they went there first because there was something out there, otherwise they wouldn't have gone there in the first place. Why would Ramana go there? Why would somebody get attracted to? Have you been to the Arunachaleshwara temple in Tiruvannamalai? You have. Yes. So the ancient rishis, whoever set up this whole system there, they knew that it's that area, that place is beneficial to people who are on the spiritual field or who are sadhaks. So the change can, but it should not turn out to be just a mechanical exercise. Then it makes no sense. There are thousands of people, you also walk, then it becomes a ritual. Beyond the ritual, you should look at this thing as suppose, everything is moving. This world is called Jagat because it is moving. You know that. Stefan knows enough Sanskrit. So
Kunjam, kunjam.
that is Tamil. Okay. So when when the whole world is moving, which is why it's called Jagat, because it is Jagatyam. The word in Sanskrit is Jagatyam, Jagat, which means the world is called Jagat because it is Jagatyam. But for this moving world, there is also a center, which is the Jagannath, right? The Lord of movement. So Arunachala is the fire. Aruna is fire. So in different parts of the world, now I'm going into a little controversial topic, different centers of awakening have been fixed. Arunachala is this place fixed for the Manipura, which is the Agni. Right? In fact, Shankara, when he talks about the Sri Vidya, doesn't go anywhere below this. He only stays from Manipura up. Manipura. So it is the center of fire, Agni. Right? The root word from which the Latin igne comes. Agni. Ignite. Right. So, therefore, that center is meant for that. So when you go around, then something happens. If your intention is that, if your intention is just to gossip and walk around, then it makes no sense. We walk everywhere. It's not. But if you understand this and walk, there is something out of that. There is a significance there. So, yes. Then you asked me about Visiri Swami. Well, let me tell you, define you as I see him. He was a complete madman. Totally crazy. And when in fact, he was perhaps the first man to call me M.
Yes, that's
E-
why.
Even somebody called me Shri M after that. But he was the first man. The first time I went to see him, he was staying in a small kutir next to the chariot, temple chariot. Before all this was built and people kind of, spoilt it. So he used to live in that little kutir up there. And the moment I entered, he said, Madanapalli, M. Because Madanapalli is also spelled with M.
Yeah.
So he said, Madan, I don't know if anybody told him, but he said, Madanapalli, M, come on, come on. He used to talk English, you know that. He,
Yeah.
he was a professor of English from the Banaras Hindu University before he came and settled down there. And otherwise he used to talk Hindi. And because it is the South, I think he stuck to his English. So then he said, come and sit down here. So I sat down next to him. Ganesh was sitting next to me on the left. He came and sat down. And it is very interesting because every time he said something funny, you know how he laughed? It was a belly laughter which grew from here and came out, like that. And he called himself this beggar.
Yes.
This beggar, this beggar. So we're sitting there and we're chatting. He asked, you know Ganesh? I said, no, I don't. Oh, he's so and so. Okay. And then he said, why did you come here? So I said, to see you. To see me? Or to see you? I said, to see you. He said, to see me. Then he started laughing. So he went on laughing. You can't stop. He laughs and laughs. And then somebody gave him tea, said, have a tea. Then he said, I'm going to smoke. So I didn't know that he used to smoke because I don't smoke. So he said, I'm going to smoke. So somebody gave him a cigarette. Somebody lit a cigarette. He took 2-3 puffs. You want? I said, no. He said, you are all yogis, you don't smoke. Okay. So then he held it in his hand, then he held it like this. And he said, the doctor says that I have some nervous problem and my hand shivers. See, is it shivering? I said, no, I don't see it shivering. Yeah, so they don't know anything. Yeah, then again he started. So then there was a queue of people waiting to see him. And there was one guy, I think who was an industrialist, who was standing there. And it was warm, you know how Tiruvannamalai is. So this industrialist had an assistant holding an umbrella for him, like you hold it for gods in India. So, and he was expecting to be called. He ignored him completely. Till the end he ignored him. He did not even look that side. Then in the end, after most people had gone, he looked at him and said, so why did you come here? So this man wanted to show that he has everything, but like he's a spiritual person and all that. So he said, I don't want anything from you. I have one thing only from you. What? He said, I want peace of mind. Peace of mind. You know what it means? Peace of mind. Yeah. So I happened to be the person sitting next to his right hand. So I got one whack from him. Oh, it was so terrible. I thought my left shoulder is going to go. One whack, and then he started laughing and laughing and laughing. And it was like a full belly laughter. And then in the middle of the laughter, here and there, he would say, he wants peace of mind. This bugger's mind has gone to pieces. He said, this bugger's mind has gone to pieces and he wants peace of mind. This piece? Which piece? So that was the last time I saw him.
Yeah.
I came away and Maheshwarnath Babaji, I remember, was very happy that I went and saw him. Very happy. He said, good, you went to see Ram Surat Kumar ji? I said, yes, I went and met him. Very good. He said, did you get a blessing? I said, I got a blow.